What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Bro Tech Gaming Podcast. My name is Carlos. This is the homie Sean, and we are covering The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 4, I think it was.
Or
Episode 4. Yeah. So sorry for the late video. I know we're like almost like a week late on it. So what happened was, so we actually recorded 2 videos last week, and both of them got scrapped because of audio issues. Streamlabs just decided to give me a straight fuck you, and I'm not recording no audio. So there was like no way for me to get the audio back, and it took me like 2 hours of troubleshooting to figure out what happened. I still don't know what happened, but I have audio now, and that's all that matters. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna do just a quick recap, just a quick review on it, because I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of videos on reviews and breakdowns and Easter eggs and stuff that you missed, and so we're just gonna get our opinions out there on the episode and yeah, give our rating at the end.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm just gonna do like a quick recap. Overall, I feel like the episode wasn't very long, so I mean we can kind of just start out with episode starts. We're kind of introduced to Isaac very early on. He's actually part of Fedra. He meets with members of the WLF, turns on his people, blows them up, pancake grenade style, super badass. That was like kind of like the introductory scene into, I guess you could say, how like Isaac kind of converted into the WLF. Go back 11 years later, according to the timeline, we're back with Dina and Ellie. They're still trekking through Seattle, like looking for like loot and stuff like that, looking for signs of the WLF. They end up finding the record store. Ellie finds the guitar. We have that iconic scene where she's playing a song for Dina. That's kind of where you find out that Dina like really does have feelings for Ellie, because Isabella Merced, amazing actress. We can kind of see that on her face. Scene moves forward. They see the TV station with WLF written on top of there. They decide that they want to go check it out, but they're going to wait till nightfall. So they kind of like move into the TV station at night. A little bit of a firefight ensues. Dina kills a dude. Ellie kills a dude, very much like Last of Us style fashion. They get pushed down into the subway station, where we probably get like one of the most epic like set pieces in the show, probably like alongside the initial like infected coming down on Jackson. I think both of those are pretty like similar to each other. So that's a super cool moment. Get through the subway station. Ellie tries to save Dina, gets bit in the arm to try to prevent a infected from getting to Dina. So according to Dina, she thinks Ellie's now infected. They find the movie theater where Dina pulls a gun on Ellie, about to shoot her, and then Ellie's like, no, I'm immune, which is the way that she likes to say it.
Yeah.
So Dina's super cautious. They fall asleep, but she's keeping her eyes on Ellie the whole time. Ellie wakes up with like water dripping on her face like a crazy person, and they have like this nice little heart-to-heart moment. Dina tells Ellie that she's pregnant. Super high emotions. They end up like making out, doing the lesbian stuff, and that kind of wraps up the episode, right? I mean, there's things here and there, but that pretty much wraps it up. You want to start with the things you liked about the episode, things you didn't like about the episode, Carlos?
For sure. So I did like seeing Josh come out like in the first scenes. He was one of the soldiers inside of the tank, and he was just telling a story about I guess like the Seraphites or whatever. And you kind of get introduced to Isaac right then and there, because he kind of like raises his head up and starts kind of like putting him in his place. It was cool to see Josh in there. Very unexpected. There was no like like he was hinting at anything, so that was pretty cool. It's pretty cool that he died like 2 minutes later.
Yeah, a little cameo.
Yeah, just a little cameo, and now he's gone, so we don't have to worry about him. Isaac interrogating the scar was pretty cool. Like his whole monologue about the cooking ware, which is pretty cool. I know I talked about it in the video, but I mean, you guys didn't see it. But so the lady that Isaac walks up to, the one of the wolves, she came out in the movie Waiting, and she was just like the crazy waitress lady, and I just always think of that lady when I see her. So it's gonna kind of take me out of like the scenes or whatever that she's in, just because I'll put the clip in here, but she has that like go and wash the fucking dishes scene, which was super funny. I think it's still like trending on TikTok a lot.
But I think I'd rather you just wash the fucking dishes and shut the fuck up! Fucking psychobabble bullshit asshole!
More cameos.
Yeah, more cameos. Yeah, the record store scene was really good. I liked the way that Dina was kind of just sitting there and just like in awe of Ellie singing Take On Me. And I think that whole scene was really good. Like even like the visuals, how they have that hole in the wall and the light is like shining in, you can see all like the greenery like taking over the record store, and for her to still find like a prestige guitar there that she can play was pretty cool. And yeah, like you said, like you can see it on Dina's face, like all of the emotions just coming out, and you know, she's like pretty much crying when she's singing the song. And I mean, you got to admit, like I think a lot of people got teary-eyed just watching her, hearing her sing the song, and you know, like listening to the lyrics, and it means a lot more than you know what we think it means, because you know, like part of the song is just saying like, you know, like I'll be gone in a day or two, and like during this apocalypse time, like it is true, like anybody can go at any time. So you know, I think that really factored into Dina's decision on, you know, just going all out and being with Ellie. So yeah, so they left the horse there. I actually saw a lot of TikToks about that. They had like a wanted poster for Shimmer, like last scene at the record store. That was pretty cool.
Kind of just ditched the horse there for the rest of the episode. So
yeah, so I have a feeling we're gonna see the horse again. I think sometime, you know, like we're gonna see the horse. Yeah, so the scene, the subway scene, I still think was like the best part of the episode. You know, like when they get out and the wolves are just like kind of like throwing the red flares, and it just makes everything illuminate red. That was pretty cool. You see like Dina going into like her what do they call that in the game, when you kind of like sense like all the infected around you?
Yeah, I mean, think of it that way. Yeah, it's like you I mean, it's kind of unrealistic practically speaking, but like in the game you push a button where you can kind of like hear where like all the enemies are. It's almost like echolocation. I don't remember what they call it in the game though, but I guess that's what they were trying to emulate with Dina when she's like counting like how many she can hear. But that was a pretty intense scene overall.
Yeah, that's what I first thought about that when she was doing that at the supermarket, like just like the concentration. But like the thing, so like I'm watching her do that, and she's counting, you know, like 1, 2, 3, 4. She gets up to 5, but I'm like, how do you know like the first one isn't making another sound? Like how do you differentiate all the different like infected and clickers to count them as different ones? And then
just that good though.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, you know, she grew up in the apocalypse. I guess she would figure that out. But yeah, so that whole scene is just like them running through the train cars and all the affected like popping in with, you know, that one clicker coming to the door like right after she closes it, which was pretty like really cool. I honestly thought I heard like a bloater, but they never showed it. It just sounded like one. Which there could have been one, and it's just they didn't really have time to show it.
That would have been a lot to take on though in the grand scheme of things, because like that was a big ass horde. You imagine throwing a bloater in there, like just like destroying everything in their path. Like there's no way they'd be getting out of that subway.
Yeah, I mean they could have did one where it got in the train, but then they like made it out of that little like ceiling like just in time, because I mean the bloater wouldn't have been able to like jump out or like climb out or whatever, and it just would have been stuck in there.
Get caught up and stuff.
Yeah, I mean that would have been good like just for like intense purposes.
Yeah,
And then, so yeah, so at the end, we find out that Dina is actually pregnant. She lets Ellie know that she's pregnant, and Ellie is just like, like, I'm gonna be a dad, which, we talked about this before we hit record, but there's just a lot of hate. There's a lot of hate on that particular scene, and I honestly, I don't understand it. You have a lot of people that hate the show, they hate the game, but they're still watching every episode as it comes out. They're still interacting with videos, they're still commenting on the videos. It's like, bro, like, you hate this so much, but like your life, you're making your life like revolve around it. And I don't know, to me it doesn't make sense. Like, if you don't like something, you're not gonna force yourself to watch it or play it or talk about it or just be around it 24/7. Like, if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. Leave the people that like it to like it. Like, let people have their fun.
Yeah, they're kind of like the real-time Metacritic. Like, people hated Last of Us 2 so much because of its wokeness that people literally got on Metacritic just to trash it, just to give it zeros and ones, when like they didn't even play the game. They have no they have zero input because they never put any time into it, but they're still going to trash it. So I feel like that's what a lot of people are doing. And there's definitely a lot of content creators out there that are hating on the show, either because they really love the game or they just never liked it in the first place, and they're just kind of like doubling down, tripling down. Problem with like those big YouTubers that have like so many millions of followers is just like they're going to sort of cultivate their viewer base to think the same way that they do. So it's whatever, man. There's plenty of like content creators and plenty of fans out there that actually do like the show. I mean, even the game itself was a 50-50 split. So I can't imagine the show being any different if that's the case. I, for one, think it's fine and I like it. So I'm going to keep enjoying it week to week. Do you have any more comments about the show, Carlos? Maybe some negatives about the show so far, or the episode anyways?
Honestly, like, so I watched the episode twice and I couldn't really find any negatives on it. Like, you can critique like some small, like very small stuff, but like in the grand scheme of things, like the whole episode was good. I felt like it flowed really well. From the beginning, we're seeing Isaac's backstory, and it wasn't like a full fleshed out thing. It was like very basic and to the point, and I think that's really what we needed. I am worried about Eugene's episode now because I really feel like it's gonna take us out of the flow of what we have going on right now. Like, we're already in Seattle and they're already on their way to what is it, Capitol Hill?
I think it's Capitol Hill, or Capitol something.
Yeah, so they're already on their way over there. So seeing a flashback to Eugene and him like growing pod, and I mean, I'm sure it's not going to be about that. I'm sure it's going to have like some kind of connection with the wolves and like seraphites and stuff like that, because that's all they talked about him in the show. So I'm just a little bit worried about it, but I kind of trust the writers and directors that they're going to do a good job on it, and hopefully it doesn't take us out. I'm trying to be optimistic about it, but other than that, like, I feel like the show is pretty good right now. It's running really smoothly for me, because we actually like the show and we like the characters, and they're not perfect, but we're enjoying it.
For sure. So what would you rate the episode out of 10?
I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Okay. Still really liked it. I think the only thing I didn't really like was maybe like the sex scene. It just kind of came out of nowhere. You're fresh off of Ellie getting bit, and her being scared that she's gonna die, and then Dina being pregnant, and then like, I don't know, mentioning those two at the same time didn't really transform into like, okay, like, let's hook up now. I feel like they could have did it a little bit different, but I mean, it like, we still needed it. That was supposed to happen in episode 2, but it happened in episode 4, so it's still like on the same track of storytelling. Just I kind of wish that they did it a little bit better.
Cool. Yeah, I think my positives kind of emulate yours. I think my 3 favorite aspects of the episode was Isaac's introduction. I didn't know that Jeffrey Wright also voiced Isaac in the game, so like my mind is blown because I had no idea that was a thing. But makes perfect sense. Like casting him as Isaac makes absolute perfect sense. The short segment we got of him was just like amazing. Like he's already such a great antagonist. Subway scene, super awesome, super badass, a lot going on, like a lot of Easter eggs they threw in there from the game that emulated the game that I thought were kind of cool. I like the change up they did with Ellie getting bit, trying to like prove her immunity to Dina. I like the way they did it better in the show than the game. The game, Dina was just like, oh, what, so you're like immune? Like, okay. like there was kind of like no intensity or drama from the game perspective, so I like the show version better. And the last pro of the episode is going to kind of turn into one of my cons of the episode so far is Isabella Merced is amazing as Dina. Like she can definitely like carry a scene. You can see the emotion on her. She's kind of like a comic relief, but also serious. Like she just has such a good way of manipulating your emotions with each scene because she's such a good actress. But that means that anytime her and Ellie are in a scene together, I feel like Dina is kind of carrying that scene. I see a lot of moments where I feel like Ellie's a little dumb, and it almost makes it seem like Dina is supposed to be like leveraging that by being either more tactical or smarter or being a better planner. And I guess it's okay because they want Dina to be more relevant, because honestly in the game Dina was sort of like dead weight. Even in the video game, when Ellie finds out Dina is pregnant, like there's this whole thing about like, well, I didn't want to be a burden, so I didn't tell you. And Ellie's like, well, you're a fucking burden now. And I'm just like, damn, that was a really fucked up way of like responding to that. But you don't get that in the show. But with that contrast now, it kind of feels like Ellie's a little bit like dumber or not as prepared. So I hope that's not the case throughout the rest of the season. Like I want Ellie to shine. I want I want Bella Ramsey to shine too. But she is getting a lot of unnecessary hate. The show is getting a lot of unnecessary hate, and it needs to stop, you fucking haters. All right, enjoy the show. It's a good show. I like it. I also give it 8 out of 10.
Nice. All right. So let us know what you guys thought about the episode. What your guys' favorite part, what you guys disliked. Let us know in the comments, and we will respond to you because we always do. So I think with that, we will head out and probably see you guys in a couple days because it's already Friday and the next episode comes out Sunday.
Yep, 2 more days for another episode. So we'll definitely recap that episode when it comes out.
Yeah, definitely. So thanks for watching. Check out the description for some links to our socials, and go ahead and like and subscribe, and we will see you guys on the next one. Bye.